What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing some really cool things in Illustrator and Photoshop. I'm going to show you a couple of different tools you can use to create these really cool pieces of artwork, and no matter what level of user you are in Photoshop or Illustrator, both of them are fairly easy to use. So let's jump in and have some fun. All right, so we're here in Illustrator, and I've got my size here for the artboard at a 12 by 16, but you can use any size you want to. All right, what we're gonna do is start off with the rectangle tool, and we're just gonna draw a rectangle. Doesn't matter what size it is. We'll just kind of go in here to the transform panel, and I think I'll bring this down to about maybe a 1/4 inch or so. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom in really far right here and select this. And what we're gonna do with this selected is just hit the enter key on our keyboard, and we're gonna move it over by, we'll do 0.0625, hit copy, and then just hit it a couple more times there until you've got like this kind of prison bar thing set up right here. And now we're gonna hit enter again, and now we're gonna copy this, set our horizontal to 0, set our vertical to the same value that we did before, and hit copy again. And now we've got like this waffle pattern thing going on. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna select everything. You don't have to group everything together, but you can if you want to. So I'll just go ahead and do it just for the heck of it. So with all of this selected, we're gonna hit the R key on our keyboard, and that's gonna bring us to the rotate tool. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold down Option and drag this little anchor point right here to this one right here. And that's gonna bring up this little rotate window right here. So we're gonna go maybe like 10 degrees and just hit copy. And now we're just gonna go all the way around in a circle. You can actually hold down Command D or Control D to do this. Go all the way around in a circle. And as you can see right here, this is a jumbled mess. This is not what we want it to look like, but that's an easy fix. What we're gonna do is select everything by doing Control A or Command A. And you can already get an idea of what we're gonna be left with here whenever we're finished. So what you can do here is I'm gonna go ahead and group this together. We're gonna align to the horizontal and vertical centers. And like I said earlier, our artboard is actually 16 inches. So I'm gonna push this up to about maybe 22 inches or so, because I want the artwork to really fill out, you know, and take up all of that canvas right there. So we've got a really cool pattern going on here, and if you want, you can select everything and bring this stroke size down to about maybe a 0.5 or something like that, if you want a little bit more of a line art. And you can also go the other way. We started at 1. You can always go up to 2 if you want them a little bit thicker, but it really just depends on your personal preference. For me, I like it when they're a little bit thinner, so maybe like between a 0.5 and a 1. But you can just imagine all the different things that you can do with this. Another thing you can do, this is not something that I do too much, but you can always add like a warp effect to it. So I'll do like a twist effect of 100% or something like that. And you can see just kind of what that'll do is it'll kind of give it like a spirograph type of feel where it just kind of curves everything in. You could also do something a little bit more extreme, like a wave, something like this, or just kind of distorts everything that way. But for the most part, I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this into Photoshop and apply some really cool color effects to it. So I'm gonna select everything, hit copy, and we're gonna go directly into Photoshop, and we're gonna paste this as a smart object. And you'll see this right here. This actually sized this down to the actual size of the canvas. But here's a really cool trick. Up here, either on your width or your height, there should be a percentage right there. So all you have to do is bring it up to 100% the size. That way it's exactly the same size in Photoshop as it was in Illustrator. And it should automatically be centered, but I'm gonna go ahead and just center it anyway. And now what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna name this artwork. And from this point, there are a lot of different things we can do. So what I'm gonna do is add a solid color background, and basically that makes it to where it's almost impossible to see. It's like it's not completely black, but it's almost there. So what you can do is you can double click on your layer and go over here to color overlay. You can make this any color you want to. Make it like a solid red or something. But what I like to do is do a gradient overlay, and as you can imagine, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with this. So let's do something like, I don't know, maybe like a pink, like a pinkish purple or something like that. And then maybe like a yellow, like a bright yellow, maybe like a tropical sunset or something, you know. Or you can click on reverse and just kind of see what that does. Just play around with it and see what you can do. And this is just my personal preference, but when this one is getting out to the edges, it's getting a little bit too sparse, especially up here in this area. So what I'm gonna do is hit Command T or Control T, and just increase it a little bit, usually about 10 to 20% will do just fine. That way the artwork itself is extending beyond the canvas, and it just makes it look so much larger than it actually is. But as you can imagine, you can have a lot of fun with that. You can use squares, shapes, triangles, stars, whatever shapes you want to use, or you could use a combination of different shapes. In the past, I've done like a square and a circle and a triangle, and then I copied those in the exact same pattern that I used before, and it just creates these really cool and weird shapes sometimes. So play around with the method and have fun with it, and if you end up doing anything with it, let me know. I'd love to see it. I really hope that I taught you something in Illustrator or Photoshop today. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.